evening and welcome to the Robinson Sports Network. I'm Chris Gay. This is Will Stafford, and this is, you know him, it's Coach Tyler Upgrove, who is coming into the season, or the postseason, undefeated, 10-0, and 6-0, 7-0 in conference play. And now you guys have Camden Fairview at home, home field advantage up until the championship game, which is, I know it's huge for you. Coach, what are you're coming into this game against a pretty solid Fairview team. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just excited, to be in the playoffs. We've had a great season, and really excited to be at home. That those 3 weeks in a row on the road were enough for me for a while. But just really excited for our kids to earn this spot to host throughout. We know what we're getting Friday night is a very talented and competitive Camden team. So we've kind of talked all week about how we've got to show up. And play our brand of football. We feel like if we can do that, obviously we control our own destiny, but you never know with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, on a Friday night. So we've got to come out and compete. And
Coach, you got to say, I really like the hoodie you have right there. I think that is awesome. But Will, if you want to ask.
I mean, so coming off past couple weeks of playing the 4 teams from the division or from the conference that have made the playoffs. You're talking about BB, Searcy, and Maumelle. The Searcy one obviously being the biggest challenge for you. But coming off last week with Maumelle, you had 21 points in the first quarter, 28 or 21, I forget. 21 points. All 3 of those were from Deuce. But, coming off a game like that where, you're the head coach of Tweakerville and you are going into the playoffs with a very dominant win. How are you feeling going into the next week where the implications are the biggest they can possibly be?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be lying if there wasn't a little bit of nerves just because, if it's...
Hey, Coach, I think you might be muted. Can't tell.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. That's
Sorry. Bluetooth got us right there. You're good, Coach.
That's all right. No, I think, I'd be lying if, there wasn't a little bit of nerves. I always, even as an assistant, hate the first round just because, it's that first time where, if you lose, it's over. And we've had a special season so far. And, we've preached to the kids all week. We've just got to play our game. We've got to play our game. We know that there's a huge target on our back. The one thing with this team, though, that I feel like they really enjoy that. They got up for Maumelle. Obviously, we talked about last week. There's a lot to that game. There's always some good banter and trash talk. And then, I think Searcy, and this is nothing against Coach Clark or those guys. I don't think our kids took them serious enough. And obviously, Searcy made us realize real fast that if we don't come out and compete, Searcy's a really good football team. And so it was good to see us respond, but we can't do that any of the next 4 weeks. In 5A, it's a little different. These other classifications have buys and all this other stuff. And you got the top 16 teams in 5A. And if you don't come out and compete and have your, not necessarily your A game every snap, but if you're not playing hard and you just trying to overlook somebody, then you could be in for a sad night.
Was that the mindset going into Maumelle? Because you guys did not give them a chance. I mean, you guys, obviously, like Will said, 21 points in the first quarter, all from Zeus. I mean, obviously, you guys started fast versus the way you did against Searcy. Yeah, no,
I was really proud of our kids. They were amped up for that one. And defensively, the Searcy game, I think, kind of woke up our secondary. I think they were probably feeling themselves a little too much, thinking they didn't have to prepare as much as they needed to. So we really went back to the basics and worked on some technique stuff. And, you saw it with the 2 or 3 picks and then the scoop and score. I thought our kids were really just dialed in. I thought our coaching staff did a great job of scheming it up, both offensively and defensively, and had a really good plan. Offensively, I guess it's bad to say this, but we just weren't just perfect. The passing game, we only threw 8 passes. But that happens when your defense is scoring, and we got some short fields a couple times. And, Maumelle had some drives where we got them off the field on 4th down. So just really a credit to our kids. I thought they were just really locked in. And, you wouldn't know it during warm-ups because we're not a big hooping and hollering group. They're just kind of dialed in from the get-go. And, I've really challenged them. We got to be that way. Once we get into our team meeting at 2 tomorrow, that's where our mind's got to be, and that's what we've got to be able to do.
And, I mean, talking about Camden Fairview, Camden Fairview, I think it's fair to say, have not had, quite the season that the Senators have. But they are still a very good team. You can't make the playoffs by being a mediocre team. And when it comes to playoffs, everyone's playing for something. It's not like you're going in saying, all right, we're just playing to lose, or we're just playing because we have to at this point. So when you're going into a mindset like that, and especially being at home, how important is home field advantage, first of all? But second of all, going into a game like this in playoffs, your mindset has to be, we talked about it in the beginning of the year, one game is over, the next game is new. But when it comes to playoffs, how different is that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the most important thing, especially when you're the 1 seed and you're 10-0, and it's real easy for kids to just see a 4 seed and think, oh, well, they're not very good. But if you really go and look at it, the South and the Central could have been 1A, 1B as the best conferences in 5A, in my opinion. So if you're like, I fully expect Hot Springs to get a game from BB. BB's playing really well. They've been through the wars in our conference, just like Hot Springs has. So with Camden, if you go look at their scores, they're all close. It's not like they just got blown out by Parkview, Lakeside, and Hot Springs. They could have won all 3 of those games had a player here or play gone here or there. And after talking to Coach Vaughn at Camden, they're pretty young. And then the guys who aren't, young classification-wise haven't played a whole lot. So, that's a group that scares you probably even more because maybe they don't know any better to be scared to, come to Charlie George Stadium and you're playing the number 1 team in the classification. Maybe they don't know any better and they just play out of their minds, So I think it's crucial for us to have a fast start, to kind of just, grab some of the momentum and just kind of make them feel like, okay, here we go again. But if we don't do that, I still like, where we're at. We've got a defense who's playing, I think, the best football in 5A right now. And, defense travels whether you're at home or away. And so I love that. But, offensively, I think we got a chance to run the football. And then, I look for Reese to have a good game. We're going to try to get him some easy throws early and just kind of get Josiah and Akeem and Braylon and those guys going.
So that does bring me to my next question. I was going to ask, is your focus going to be rushing or the air attack? Because I mean, obviously we talk about Deuce every week because I mean, obviously we think
why not?
I mean, yeah, Deuce Williams is the best player in 5A. But in this case, with as much of a workhorse as Deuce is the air attack more of one of your style of play? Because we did see last week Deuce played about the first half and then didn't really touch the offensive side of the ball in the second half.
Yeah, and some of that had to do with being up 35. And, Coach Mop and I met at halftime to just kind of see how he wanted to do the clock. And when he was fine with just letting it roll, if we could get some guys out of there, we did that. But I think, I've said it all year. I've said it since I got hired in January. I want to be as 50-50 as we can. We are too talented at receiver to not get those guys involved, and some of that's, play calling, some of that's Reese, and some of it's just playing good defenses. I mean, the defense is going to make plays sometimes. So, we've got to call a good game, and then Reese has got to go execute it in the passing game. He's had a good week of practice, so I look forward to him having a bounce back. And then, like I said, with the receivers we've got, we just got to get him the ball. It doesn't have to be vertical every time. Just make easy plays. Some of Josiah's biggest plays have just been catch a 5-yard stop and go. Braylon has that ability. Trey Petty has that ability. So, and then obviously we've got Akeem who can do both. So we just need to just, and we've got some shots in that we like. So we got to execute them when we do it. We've done it all week, but we got to see it on Friday night.
And, of course, Coach, last question for me. Tell us a little bit because, obviously we haven't played outside of Lakeside, haven't seen a team from the 5A South. Tell us a little bit about what we should expect with Camden Fairview.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, after talking to Coach Vaughn, they're young. but they've got some athletes. Number 4, they're going to move him all around. They're going to put him at Wildcat some. They're going to put him at receiver. They're going to hand him the football. He's a good player. 28's, I think, the kind of their main back. He's kind of, a little bit of a bowling ball, but he's also twitchy. So we got to make sure to, just get him wrapped up. The quarterback's first-year starter. He makes some really wow throws, and then sometimes he does something that a first-year starter does, which we've seen on our own field with our quarterback, which is fine. And then they've got an H-back / tight end, number 44, who I really like. He's just kind of a big athlete that can run. And, after talking to Coach Vaughn, like, he's a kid who's worked really hard to lose some weight and move some weight around, and you can tell. I mean, he's a dude. And then up front on both sides of the ball, they're big. They make flash plays, so we've got to block it up real well. And then the secondary, they got athletes back there. So, we just have to play our game, not give them anything, which I thought last week was kind of the first week where we had done that on all 3 phases. So, and then I think special teams, especially in the playoffs, can really be the deciding factor, and we've been really good there. I don't know if they're going to kick it deep on kickoff. I mean, if it was me, I would not, but
I wouldn't either.
I do think somebody will do it eventually in the playoffs. So if they do, we got to make them pay for it. And then just in kickoff for us, we just got to go out and make tackles.
Yeah, and honestly, this is probably the best last question we can ask. You're at Charlie George Stadium, all playoffs until that final game. How important is that for you? Because I remember the Cersei game, probably the loudest I've ever heard a high school fan base be at an away game. How important is that to be playing at Charlie George Stadium in front of your home crowd?
No, it's huge. You brought up the Cersei game. I've got to coach in some really big games, and that's one of the best environments that I've ever coached in. It felt like a semifinal game, which I think is big for us because we've played in those environments. Our home crowds have been great all year, so I'm looking forward to that being the same. And it's just nice to not have to get on a bus, to not come up with a travel schedule, to not change, your routine. If we can stay in a routine, I like it for our kids because they become a little bit of creatures of habit. So we want to try to keep that the closest to it as we can. And I think that's big for them. So yeah, it's huge to be at home, and we wanted that. And so it's just nice to play in your own stadium. And then if we're lucky enough to get there, we don't have to go far down the road for the finals either. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We can't wait. But of course, we know how it is. It's business, one game at a time. So Coach, we can't wait to see what you guys draw up against Camden Fairview. We're going to send it back to the field. evening, and welcome to the Robinson Sports Network. I'm Chris Gay, your play-by-play commentator. This is Will Stafford, your color commentator. Tonight's broadcast is presented by UAMS Health and by First Community Bank. It is playoff football here at Charlie George Stadium, where your Joe T. Robinson Senators are set to take on the Camden Fairview Cardinals of the 5A South. And Will, the fans are already packing in on the home side. Come on, Camden fans, you got to packing in on the away side too. But oh, I'm so excited for playoff football. What about you?
I'm very excited. Now, I do want to give Camden Fairview the benefit of the doubt. That is Northwest Arkansas. That's a good drive right there. Wait.
No, it's South Arkansas.
Oh, no, you were talking about Farmington, which we'll get into here soon. But
they're also the Cardinals. I know,
they are also the Cardinals. Lots of Cardinals in this. Also Wildcats around the state as well. Very weird.
Too many,
but anyway, I'm very excited for playoff football. We've been waiting on this on this time of year. There's no better time than playoff football.
No, there is absolutely not. Your Senators, of course, coming into the postseason, look, it's 0-0. That's what the coaches always say. But they're 10-0 in the regular season, 7-0 in conference in the 5A Central. And, of course, the Cardinals were 5-5 out of the 5A South, and they were 4-3 in conference play. And actually, we're going to have the national anthem here. So we're going to go ahead and take a second so you can listen to the Senator sound. So that was your Senator sound with the national anthem. But Will, let's resume what we were talking about, and I believe we might have a bracket because it is playoff football, and there's quite a stacked bracket on this side. As you can see, the opening matchup against the 1 seed out of the Central is your Robinson Senators, then of course Camden Fairview. Now, whoever wins this game, which we all hope it's the Senators, they will face the winner of Farmington and Harding Academy. And then, of course, Will's got their stream pulled up. It's at Farmington tonight. So we will keep you updated with the score to see who will it be next round. If it's Camden Fairview versus Harding Academy, of course, 2 upsets. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But then also later in this bracket, Hot Springs and BB, so another 5A Central team. And obviously, it's a 1 seed versus a 4 seed there. Then you have Nettleton and Morrilton. The winners of those 2 games will play each other, and then the winner of that game will play in the semifinals. And then, of course, this is all the road to War Memorial Stadium. Then further down the bracket, you have Valley View and Harrison. Then you have Parkview and Maumelle, another 5A Central team. Then Greenbrier, Batesville, and the number 2 team in 5A Central, Searcy and Hot Springs Lakeside. Of course, we saw plenty of these teams already this season, including Lakeside, which is just kind of incredible to me. They're coming in as the 3rd seed, especially with how strong they are. But that is that Searcy Lakeside game. I don't know about you, Will. I think that will be a great game. Parkview and Maumelle, we'll see. Don't know much about Batesville, but maybe they give Greenbrier a run for their money. And the reason why I say that is Greenbrier was the other team out of the 5A that was undefeated throughout the regular season, 10-0 overall, 7-0 in conference play.
Now, Valonia gave Greenbrier last week a run for their money.
Valonia missed out on the playoffs. They played the Senators last year in the first round, but you're right.
They did.
Other side.
Of course, your Senators. Now, our director, Avery, he pulled up an interesting statistic. These two teams have met since 2007, so over the last 18 years, have played each other 5 times. And believe it or not, Camden Fairview has the 3-2 advantage in this series matchup. And so, don't know, obviously, I don't know if that plays a factor, but anyway, let's talk a little bit about what we expect. Give me a little bit of a rundown for those of you that aren't understanding kind of what happened with, what Camden Fairview, what they're good at.
So they are a very good air attack team. You have at starting quarterback Junior Brody Dow. He is 115 for 198 over the season, almost 2,000 yards. He's averaging almost 200 yards passing each, or almost 200 yards, I should say, per game. 14 touchdowns on the year, only 6 interceptions, and only 6 interceptions is very good for a high school quarterback. And then also on the offensive side as well is Dayton Browning, running back and wide receiver. Now he only has, I say only, I could never do this, 581 rushing yards on the season on 74 attempts, but his all-purpose yards are where his numbers really start to pop out at you. 1,700 all-purpose yards. That's including receiving, rushing, and what am I missing? Returning. Now, he has returned one kickoff or punt. I don't know which one it was. It was a kickoff. Yeah. All the way back to the house for 6 points. So Dayton Browning is going to be the one you really want to watch out for on the offensive end. Now, on the defensive side, the defensive line is very, very experienced. Multiple juniors and seniors on that side. It's going to be hard for Deuce Williams to maybe get something going, so he's going to have to really rely a lot on his offensive line to be able to give him a couple of openings.
You're absolutely right, and of course, now something I will notice is that obviously the defensive backs for Camden have been solid, but outside of, let me get his name pulled up. So his nickname, Buddy Hunter, Kylan Buddy Hunter. He is the lone starting defensive back who returned from last year's 2024 squad. Now, Camden last year, they were 8-4 overall. Still came in 3rd place in the 5A South. That's just how strong they are. Of course, Parkview's also in that conference, Lakeside, and forgetting who else, Hot Springs.
Hot Springs, yep.
So that is a very strong conference, and, Camden Fairview, they're a little bit better than their record. You look at some of their big scoring games this season. Of course, they were against all teams that, and their 5 wins, all of them did not make the playoffs, but you look at some of their big scoring outings, they put up 64 points at Hope. They put up 48 against DeQueen, 42 against Magnolia, 49 against Arkansas High School out of Texarkana. Those were 4 consecutive games, and we are about to see your Senators, who are debuting, or not debuting, but in those gray jerseys that we all love. Only been worn once this year, and they are ready to take on the Cardinals.
And they're calling it Lights Out tonight. Blackout is the theme of the night. If you look over we can see the student section over here on our left, fully blackout. And I really like that theme to start off the playoffs at Charlie George Stadium, because you want to show the entire state what you're made of, because these are the nights that cement you in Arkansas history.
They absolutely do. And we were listening to the public address announcer before the game. Every playoff bracket for every division is different, but what he was saying was that from here on out, every team you play is good. They're good enough to make it to the playoffs, and they're good enough to be contenders. I mean, you think about next round, you're going to either be playing a 2 seed or a 3 seed.
Yep.
And Farmington has a legit shot of getting to the championship game. And of course, as Camden has elected to receive here, but even in Harding Academy, they have a championship pedigree as well. So it will be interesting to see how this playoff format plays out. But before all that, your Senators are going to kick off here. It's going to be William Tate, who likes to add a little bit of trickery here and there.
And as a reminder, we will be keeping up with the Farmington Harding Academy game as time goes on. I'll give you updates every once in a while. We don't want to focus too solely on that, but I will be giving you updates as the game goes on, as they did just kick off just a few seconds ago.
So the Senators in the all gray with the black helmets, and the Cardinals in the all white with the red pants. Tate Browning back to receive. It's going to be a short kick and fair caught by the Cardinals. And so they'll get the ball inside the 50-yard line.
And Chris, I have to say, these are my favorite jerseys, man.
These are very nice jerseys.
These are beautiful. I love any all gray kit, as the British call them, but I mean, the black on gray is so nice.
Yeah, it is very nice. Shotgun formation to start off for the Cardinals. They're ready to go. It's Dow, the quarterback. Junior, he's put up some good numbers this year, a solid dual threat quarterback, so keep an eye on his legs. The running back to his left who gets Dow actually has the completion. Oh no, I think they're saying incomplete right there. He was looking for his star tight end, Jamari Utsi, who Coach Up had kind of raved about during the coaches show. If you didn't catch that, he talked about how much weight the guy's lost. He has lost 15 pounds over the offseason, but he's a big-time target. 35 catches, 515 yards this year. That's about 15 yards an average or per catch and 3 touchdowns. Dow looking over the middle, looking for...
Very good catch there.
Yeah,
bobbled it.
That was Utsi once again, and he's got the UAMS first down. That was some great hands, but that's what you want to see out of your tight end.
Yeah, and that's good defense as well. It wasn't like there was a misread. He just had a really good bobbling catch there. You know, Robinson has been slow to start on defense all year. I believe that they will pick it up here. That is only the first real good chunk play that Camden Fairview starts with here.
The Cardinals into the Senator territory for the first time tonight. Of course, just second play of the drive, now third. Red Robinson, the running back to the left of his quarterback. The ball is free, and Dow jumps on top of it. Good heads-up play by the junior quarterback.
I'm not sure who that was, but Senators were all over that immediately, man. Tank Reese. Of course it was Tank Reese.
That was a big loss for the Cardinals, so they're backed up now between the 48 and 49-yard line of the Senators. Shotgun formation again. Keep an eye on 44 in the slot, though, on the near side. He goes in motion. Dow. He's looking for him. Now he looks, and he was looking for Dayton Browning that time.
A flag, a really, really, really late flag.
Where do you see the flag?
Right at about the 38.
We'll see what the call is. I think some of the Camden coaches were probably anticipating or hoping for pass interference. We'll see what the official word is. Oh, it's going to be holding on the Senators. Will stay second down, so the Cardinals get an extra 10 yards right there, but still have, they still have 7 yards to go as they are lined up at the 38-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Robinson, the running back. It's going to be a handoff to Robinson, his first touch tonight, and he's definitely got I believe he has enough for a UAMS first down. We'll see. No, I think they marked him short, so that will bring out 3rd and inches.
A little bit of extracurricular between both teams at the very end of that, but nothing comes of it. You have to remember that under these lights, the pressure will mount, so you have to be careful with your emotions.
Yeah, there is tremendous pressure, and you got to keep your cool. Do not need to see anybody leaving this game. And we're going to have a timeout. Timeout by the Cardinals. They were, I think, looking to see how the Senators would line up on 3rd and inches, and they'll still have the football with 9:55 after the timeout. But, Will, I know it's early. We've seen a couple penalties, but some chunk plays so far by the Cardinals. And what do you think of the Senator defense so far?
Again, I think they've started pretty slow. They kind of both sides of the ball tend to start a little sluggish and have done that throughout the year. So I think you'll see Robinson kind of start to wake up here, especially off this timeout, being able to be told, like, hey, there's going to be some chunk plays. You need to be watching at all times, especially for, I believe, who's his name, Chris? Utzi, I apologize. You need to be watching for Utzi because he is going to be in motion a lot, and that's not very normal for a tight end. You don't see unless he's going for blocking. But so far, every motion he's gone into has been to go out on a route instead of being an extra blocker, which again you'll see a lot of times with the tight end on running plays, and you might see that here if he's on the field, and he is. But you need to be watching for Utzi and in his motion.
He's lined up as that H-back there. Dayton Browning is the running back to the right of his quarterback. Browning, he steps into the slot, and he's going to take it Wildcat. He's got the first down, a UAMS first down before being stopped by Fisher Taylor and Tank Reese.
And a nice little right-up play there. Just, hut the ball immediately after changing to Browning to take that wildcat formation. Man, talking is hard today, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Receiver on either side. Browning, he got the snap again. He got a big hole, but stopped after picking up about 2 or 3 yards. That was Norwood making the first contact, and Deuce Williams pushing him out of bounds.
And it's around this area that Robinson's defense has become the most lethal. We saw a lot of red zone stops in the past few weeks, especially against Maumelle just last week. So you kind of expect Robinson to maybe try and possibly find a little bit of momentum on the defensive end.
And they are getting closer to the red zone as it's 2nd and 8. Again, Browning with the handoff, and he's not getting past Tank Reese. No gain on that run by the junior. So 3rd down now for Camden Fairview.
That's 3 Wildcat formations in a row.
It's been interesting. I mean,
that one was a little bit different. They swapped sides of the field, but other than that, nothing.
Well, Dow has been on, the quarterback has been on the field. Now it's empty set here, but he's been on the field for all of those plays, so an interesting design. Actually, that was a loss of 1, so it will be 3rd and 9 with 8:36 left to play in the period. Under pressure, throwing outside, picked off by the Senators. Could it be a house call? It's
another one.
Frampton to the 20, to 15, 10, 5, touchdown. See you later, Hakeem Frampton with another pick six, 2nd week in a row.
My God, and that was not an easy catch to make for the pick six either. That was one-handed, take it all the way. That was probably the most perfect place to get that to. He got a free open sideline to rush down. Hakeem Frampton, man. That right there is a Texas A&M Aggie if I've ever seen one.
He absolutely is. And, of course, he had a 103-yard pick six last week in a big rivalry matchup against the Maumelle Hornets. And now William Tate is out there to attempt the first Community Bank point-after attempt. Lennox Campos will hold. Snap, kick, up, and it's good. The first Community Bank is through.
And just like that, the defense holds strong, and scores off of it. And that's what really won that Maumelle game last week.
Yes.
That was the best defense that Robinson has played all year. And that was just a small taste of what Maumelle saw. Camden Fairview got a very early look at it just under 4 minutes into this game. And I do want to give a quick update on that game. It's already 7-0. Farmington scored in the first 2 minutes.
Wow.
There was an onside kick that they recovered and scored in the same drive. So 7-0 in that game, 7-0 in this game. Just one Cardinal team is up, the other is not.
Yep. It'll be interesting if either one of those Cardinal teams gets to advance, but Harding Academy, pretty solid team themselves, so they'll be trying to respond. But the Senators going to kick off here. Dayton Brownie will be the kick returner.
And I really, honestly, that's one of the best things that can happen on a first defensive drive. You're giving your offense plenty of time. You know, some people will think that's icing them, that's making them a little cold. I don't think that's necessarily true because Deuce Williams is on the field right now as well, playing defense. And so it's one of those things that he's getting warms up, and he hasn't even touched the ball on the rushing end yet.
No, he hasn't. $8:15 left to go in the first quarter. We'll see if he boots it to the end zone, and he will be a strong kick. Browning stepped up. He'll get it here. He's a dangerous returner. He runs up the right side, dives forward about 3 or 4 yards, but he will be down about the 23 or the 24-yard line.
And it's funny because in the coaches show, we actually talked to Coach Up about teams not kicking, not putting it towards the end zone with as dangerous of Deuce Williams and Hakeem Frampton duo is. I mean, you're looking at the same thing for Robinson. How many times does William Tate decide to kick it deep to Browning? Because Browning is, again, a very dangerous kick returner.
He absolutely is. Of course, has one kick return touchdown on the year, and coming into the game had 438 kick return yards, about 22 yards a return. It's also their primary punt returner. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Hand off to the running back, and he won't get much right there. Trying to see who the running back was for. That was number 30, Dante Thrower. He also plays a little bit of linebacker, but you know, this is a team that has a strong rushing attack. Red Robinson has been their primary rusher. 791 rushing yards coming into the game. Browning 581 and Thrower 337. So a strong 3-headed dragon or snake or whatever you want to call it here, as that's a solid run by Thrower.
You know, one thing I don't think we touched on this Cardinal defense or offense was as good as Utsi is receiving-wise. 35 receptions before tonight for 515 yards. For a tight end, that's unbelievable.
That is great, especially in high school.
Yes, in high school especially.
Just are not used. Just 3rd and 6 with 7 minutes left to play in the period. Shotgun formation. Thrower moves to the left of his quarterback. Brody Dow has thrown 1 pick today. Let's see what the Senators can cough up with them. It's going to be a sack. And you know who that was. That was Caleb Smith, his first sack of the playoffs here against Brody Dow. And, of course, he's had several sacks this year. That's going to be sack number 6 for the senior defensive end.
And a lot of those, we talked about it a few weeks ago, a lot of those are clutch ones as well.
Now, Dow, of course, he's their quarterback. He's also their punter. That's his 22nd punt of the year.
Good
Deuce
roll.
Williams just going to let that bounce. It was solid placement.
25, I believe.
Yeah, about the 20. They're going to mark it at the 24-yard line. So a solid punt by the quarterback. And so the Senators, their offense, going to debut for the first time in the playoffs tonight with 6:17 left to play in the quarter. And Will, you know, we were talking with Coach Up. Is it going to be air attack tonight? Is it going to be ground attack? But we all know what they want to start out with. They want to start out giving the ball to their workhorse.
Yeah, you want to start off by giving it to number 2, Deuce Williams. If you have never connected the dots, Deuce means number 2. If you never knew that, but Deuce Williams, you're going to assume he's going to get a lot of work, especially in the first half, and depending on what the score may be in the second half. And do not count out Camden Fairview, but depending on what the score is in the second half, you may not see Deuce Williams too much, but expect more 50-50 balls this game, both in the air and on the ground.
Reese Simpson, the quarterback, he will fake the handoff. It's going to be a screen pass outside a bubble screen to Frampton. He's going to make a man miss. He's got enough for a UAMS first down. He makes another man miss, and he gets inside about to the 41-yard line. So a big pickup on first down. We were both wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the strategy. Of course, everybody knows Deuce is going to get a bunch of touches at some point.
And Hakeem Frampton is very good in the open field. If he has a one-on-one, you can probably expect him to get a little bit of extra yardage no matter what. So that's a very good idea and a good play design to start the game.
The Cardinals moved a little bit.
To the dismay of Robinson faithful.
Handoff now to Deuce Williams. He bounces outside. He's trying to get around him. He's got the first down, and he's got a bit more. Big UAMS first down by Kevin Deuce Williams.
And you can't do anything but smile at as good of an athlete as Deuce Williams is. It didn't seem like there was anything there at the very beginning of that play, but he finds the open space, and man, does he love running down the sideline. My God.
So the 3 starting receivers for the Senators. Of course, we've already seen Hakeem Frampton get a big first down, but Josiah Warrior Benson and Braylon Brown out there as well. Lennox Campos lined up as the H-back. It will be Deuce Williams here, bouncing outside again, and that was a big tackle there by their star defensive back for the Cardinals. That was number 2, DeKylan Buddy Hunter. I feel like if you're a defensive player and your nickname's Buddy, that just doesn't quite have the same effect as, his last name's Hunter. You might as well do something fun with that. Jaden Todd, a receiver, now out there for the Senators. And we have a whistle.
Timeout.
We're going to have a timeout by the Cardinals. So an early second timeout taken by the Cardinals here with 5:03 left to play in the first quarter. We'll stay put right now. Senators, of course, it's only been 3 plays, but what are you seeing early? Obviously, they're trying to get the ball out to the playmakers.
Yeah, I think they're trying to move the ball as quick as possible. You want in a playoff atmosphere, you want to start fast. You want to start with more points on the board than they do, which obviously that's the entire point of football, obviously, but in the first half, that's hard to do. In one half, that's hard to do. So you want to try and get going very early, and that's what helped. That's what the Hakeem Frampton pick 6 kind of helped with. You get started very, very fast, and with Deuce already kind of finding some success other than on that past run play, which was blown up. Very good read by Buddy. Not Buddy the Elf, which it's almost getting time to watch that. So.
Yeah, it's getting very close.
But very... they're trying to start fast, and I think they're doing a good job of it, even if that pass play got blown up. Great movie.
It is
I think that's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Well, I think it's a play or musical now at Robinson.
It is,
yeah. Hand off to Deuce Williams. He's trying to go up the middle. Can't create much. It will be no gain. Officially stopped by Utsi, who plays some on defense as well. So it will be 3rd and 11 for the Senators. Not a position we see them in very often, especially not after 2 run plays that only accounted for -1 yards. Trey Petty, another receiver out there now for the Senators.
I think you probably see something to Josiah Warrior Benson.
He's on the near side, but Deuce uncovered for the moment. Reese rolling left. Hit as he threw. It's picked off. There is a flag. Utsi has it. Utsi going inside the 20. He's not down. As of now, it's a big 6. We'll see what that call is, because Simpson was under a lot of pressure as he got hit as he threw.
Yeah, that is going to be on Robinson, I believe, although
There is no official ruling. The officials are still having a conversation here. Camden Fairview is already getting ready to kick the extra point. For Fairview, their kicker is sophomore Gannon Edwards. There's still not been an official ruling here, but I think everybody's expecting it to be on the Senators. And that's what it'll be. So the pick six stands. And now Camden Fairview is getting ready to attempt the point after and tie this ball game up at 7.
I think if you're Reese Simpson, you have to just take that sack there. I don't think you try and get the ball out. I think you need to take that. Obviously, that's just a bang-bang play. Hopefully you get the ball out, but in that case, I think you need to just go ahead and take that.
That point after is up and good. So Edwards nails the first Community Bank point after attempt, and this game is tied up at 7. Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, he just got hit as he threw. Yeah, there was holding on that side. I wasn't sure when that flag came out. And Utsi, of course, is a great tight end, and that was an easy catch and run for him. So definitely unfortunate for that Senator offense, but not having that running attack going outside of that one big first down run by Deuce Williams definitely makes all the difference.
Yeah, and I think that's what, if you're Camden Fairview, that's what you want to try and force it to, right? And not saying that Reese Simpson is a bad quarterback, but that's how good Deuce Williams is as a running back. If you can shut down Deuce Williams on the ground, the air attack is all you have. And there was a face mask as well.
Yep, so that penalty was against, I guess it was against the Senators based off where Fairview will be kicking off at. Are they going to be kicking in?
They are, because it was a 15-yard.
Okay,
face mask is 15 yards.
Yep, so they will be kicking inside of Robinson territory at the 45-yard line. Gannon Edwards will kick off for the Cardinals. Back to receive is Deuce Williams. Frampton's back there as well.
And this is going to be...
Yeah, we'll see if this is a short kick or not. Of course, they do have to go 10 yards, but we'll see. It's going to be trying the lateral. They got it. They got it. Fairview got the ball right back.
Wow.
What a big play there. That
took a weird bounce.
That was Zachariah Duhart, their star defensive end, grabbing that, and yeah, that was unfortunate.
That took a bad bounce right at the very end. I don't know who bobbled that, but, that's hard to grab no matter who you are.
I'll take a look at it again, and of course, I think they were expecting it, and yep, that was actually Campos, who's got good hands, and he just could not hold on to that one. So Duhart, great hands there, and now, just like that, the Cardinals are knocking on the door of the red zone. They were stopped on their earlier trip in the first quarter, and now we have a timeout by the Senators, and we'll take it along with them. 7-all is your score, with 4 minutes left in the period. Don't go anywhere. More Senator football after this. Seven all is your score with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play of this first round playoff matchup between your Joe T. Robinson Senators and the Camden Fairview Cardinals. Red Robinson has the football coming out of the timeout. He's not down just yet. Big push by that Cardinal offensive line and a big
How did he end up on that side?
I have no idea. He started on that right side towards the right hash marks and suddenly ends up on the left. So that was a 7-yard gain, they're going to say an 8-yard gain for the running back there. Of course, that's Demarion Red Robinson, who leads the team in rushing this season. Shotgun formation, Utsi. And Robinson stays on his feet somehow. He actually never went down right there, despite being, contact from 5 different Senators. And the Senators are good tacklers. That's kind of a surprise right now that Robinson has really been a handful.
He did get that first down, though, as
Yeah,
well.
he did get the UAMS first down, and now they are inside of the red zone. Shotgun formation again. Keep an eye on number 44 in the slot on the near side. Browning goes in motion. Dow drops the football, and I think he got it right back. That is the second time the Cardinals have had bad snaps, so they lost 4 yards right there. And if you're the Cardinals, obviously your special teams have come up big so far, and the defense came up big with that big pick 6. And you hope your offense kind of takes that step up. They've had a solid drive up until that point. Empty set for the Cardinals. Dow looking at his sideline. He's going to take it off himself. He's got legs. Oh! Huge hit by Jackson Redmond.
And they want a flag, but I'm not sure he was sliding at the right time.
I don't know if that was a slide or not. I mean, we may have to take a look at that one. That was a huge hit. That was Brody Dow, a designed run up the middle, and he just met Jackson Redmond. That's never a guy you want to see. And Redmond, see if we can take a look at it here in a moment. But actually, I don't think we will. But that was, again, a huge hit, and there are no flags, so and I don't think they can just decide to throw one after discussion or anything like that. So, but hopefully Dow's all right. He'll definitely have to take a play off, and their backup quarterback is the sophomore Easton Klotz.
And again, I think that in that case, I think Jackson Redmond was already committed to the tackle before the slide. If you don't know, targeting would entail that the quarterback was already sliding and then was hit. But I think in this case, I think Jackson Redmond was already committed to the tackle. So it's going to be that'd be a difficult call. But I don't think there's anything going to be called. I think it was a clean hit. I think it's just the timing of it is just very bad.
Well, while we have a break in the action, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Who will it be? That's a great question. If my phone will work for me here. So here at First Community Bank, we believe that investing in our communities provides us all with a brighter future, and it's something we've been doing since we were founded in 1997. We're proud to support the Senators in everything they do, not just because they're great athletes, but because they represent what makes community so special. People coming together to work hard and make something amazing happen. When you bank local, everyone wins. Go Senators! First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC, and it is good to see that Brody Dow is running off the field.
I think he tried to get in the team huddle.
I'm sure he did, but of course he had to take the play off. So I'm curious if they'll put in the sophomore backup quarterback, or if they may try to run Downing on the Wildcat and maybe stick Dow back in whenever he can. But it is 3rd and long. Yep, I think that's what it will be. So Dayton Browning, the junior running back and receiver, will be taking the Wildcat snaps here. He's not passed yet. He's going to run, though, up the middle. He's got the first down. And
that's going to be a holding.
He's in the end zone as he was chased out by Deuce Williams. There is a flag at the 5-yard line.
I don't know on who, but it's looking like it's going to be on Camden Fairview.
Yeah, Fairview's starting to back up a little bit. So they'll lose 10 yards right there. As you can see, of course, don't know who did the holding, but Browning snuck into the end zone. And good to see that Brody Dow is back into the ball game. So they don't lose 10 yards. They do lose 10 yards where the holding occurred. So Brody Dow, the quarterback, back in the ball game. It's 3rd and 10 here. Dow looking over the middle. Too high. Was looking for his tight end, Utsi, who already has a touchdown on defense today. And that brings up 4th and long. Let's see what they decide to do here.
And you're in a playoff atmosphere. Do you go for this, Chris?
You absolutely do. It's a tied ball game. You could go for 3 here, but you kind of want to put the home team at a disadvantage heading into the second quarter, being down a score. But you always have to keep an eye on, are they just going to try to get them off sides? So 3 receivers on the far side. It's Randall, Browning, and McKinney. 1 on the near side. It's Ware. Oh, they're going for it. Under pressure. He steps up, and he's got the first down. And a couple yards more. So Dow, big play for the UAMS first down. And the Senators with their backs against the wall.
And Camden Fairview's offensive line is doing a really good job at opening up space for both Browning, and Dow to be able to get some of these chunk plays. I mean, he got it by about a yard, but a yard past the first down marker is a first down.
Ball on the, I believe, the 3-yard line. Browning has a Wildcat. Will he have enough? I think he was held. Yeah, he was held up, so maybe got a yard. So that will bring up 2nd and goal. 1 minute left to play in the first quarter. A lot of extra blockers out there, including defensive lineman Teddy Thompson. And
I think he was held again.
I think he was stopped once again. He might have picked up an inch.
Robinson player down over there.
Yeah, there is a Senator down on the field. Can't tell exactly who that is. So 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Cardinals inside the 2-yard line. It's 3rd down when they will return from the huddle. While we have a break in the action again, let's hear from another one of our sponsors. When orthopedic injuries happen, get expert care now. At UAMS Health Ortho Now, we provide fast, convenient care for all of your orthopedic needs, from sports injuries to joint pain and beyond. No appointment is needed. Walk in for immediate care, get on-site x-rays, and see the best in orthopedic care, all in one place. Ortho Now is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon, conveniently located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Don't wait in pain. Walk in today. For more information, call 501-686-TOSH. That's 501-686-8674.
Are they doing the exact same thing?
Yep, it's going to be Browning.
And he stopped again.
Stopped again. It will be 4th down. They're probably going to try it one more time.
A helmet has come off there, too.
One of the offensive linemen. That's going to be Malachi Lindsay, the sophomore offensive lineman. It's going to have to take a play off, so they'll have to bring in his backup.
I think they're lining up for another Wildcat formation.
Yeah, maybe a little bit different, though. Let's see. And I believe there's going to be oh, no, that's the end of the quarter. So at the conclusion of the first quarter of action, it is 7-7. Your Senators in a tight one with the Camden Fairview Cardinals. It's the first round of the 5A playoffs here on the Robinson Sports Network, and more football action will return after this timeout.
House, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood, and of course part of the community. And you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
Without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh, my stars. It is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
7-7 is your score as we enter the second quarter of action here on the Robinson Sports Network, presented by First Community Bank and by UAMS Health. Camden Fairview.
Exact same play, but they are going to bring in Utsi for extra blocking.
Yep, they will. Extra blocking. It's 4th down.
Actually, it might go straight to Utsi.
4th and goal. Utsi's going to move a little bit. It's going to be Browning no matter what. There is a flag.
Illegal movement? Motion? Whatever.
Let's see who it's on. It will be on the offense. So Camden Fairview gets backed up a few yards, and the Senators get much-needed breathing room. They are going to bring back Brody Dow, their quarterback.
But also kicker, right? He did kick the field goal earlier, the extra point earlier. So
no, that was Gannon Edwards.
Oh,
no,
I apologize.
He's their punter, but no, in this situation, you're not.
I thought you were going. Yeah. I apologize. I confused.
Empty set. Nope. It's going to be Browning playing Wildcat here. Shovel it to Dow. Dow to Browning. Behind him, he's got the touchdown. Camden Fairview with the lead. A beautiful play call by the coaching staff for the Cardinals. You can credit that to Lance Stone, the Fairview offensive coordinator.
I mean, that was the weirdest 5 plays I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
4 straight Wildcat formations, and then something that we thought was not going to be a Wildcat formation turns into another one. Very weird. It works.
Edwards. Point after attempt is up and good for the First Community Bank extra point. So the Camden Fairview Cardinals have the 14-7 lead here with 11:53 remaining in the first half.
And now, this is not the first time we've seen Robinson down in this season, right? We saw in Searcy down in the first half good
21
bit.
21-7.
I think it was 21-10 is what it was. Ended up winning that game by a few scores. What are you?
Well, they haven't changed the score on the scoreboard out there.
They will eventually.
Okay.
And then you also saw they were down against BB in the first half.
Yeah, that's right.
It's weird with these Senators, right? Sometimes they need to get punched in the mouth to understand that, hey, we need to wake up, stop playing around. And again, obviously there were some mishaps here and there that led to those 14 points now.
Yeah. Well, they play close games. I mean, you look back at Jonesboro. Now, that was all the way back on September 5th. Can they do it again? We'll see. Gannon Edwards will kick off here, possibly a short kick. It's going to be fair caught by Jaden Todd. So the Senators will have the football around the 41-yard line.
You have to score here. You have to score on this drive. It is a non-negotiable. Like, you need to be able to get some momentum on your offense because your offense hasn't had much. So you need to see the ball. I mean, I still think you trust Deuce Williams, and I think that's what you're going to see through Coach Up, is that Deuce Williams is still going to probably be able to find himself some space. But I also think you see more of, I mean, you have that open set on the far side with Josiah Warrior-Benson. He's got a one-on-one play there.
There is safety help, but it will be a handoff to Williams. He lost the football, but Fisher-Taylor, good heads-up play. He falls on it. Only the second fumble of the season for Deuce Williams. That is very uncharacteristic. You can tell he's frustrated with himself, and so they'll stick in Bryce Cunningham.
I think he gets more yardage if he doesn't do that, though.
Bryce Cunningham. No, you're right. I mean, he had a lot of room, probably had the first down, but they still do pick up 5 yards just in an odd way. Cunningham, they jumped a little bit, just not across the line. Todd and Brown, the receivers on the far side. Warrior-Benson, the receiver on the near side. Bryce Cunningham, second on the team in rushing yards. He'll get the handoff here, following his blockers. And he's got the first, the UAMS first down. A big pickup for the young running back.
And we've been seeing more of him lately in some of those blowouts that Robinson has had. You take Deuce Williams out and allow Bryce Cunningham to get some reps, because that's who you'll see next year. Deuce Williams graduates this year, so not surprising that we see more Bryce Cunningham.
Simpson outside. Todd has a lot of room to work with. Following his blocker, Braylon Brown put down a good block right there, and Todd's got another UAMS first down. And, of course, Todd really hadn't had a lot of attention on offense this year, just his 6th catch of the season, but he is averaging about 16 yards per reception, so he's a big play guy regardless. And Deuce Williams still on the sideline. They're still going to go with Bryce Cunningham, but I imagine we'll see a few more passes. So Warrior-Benson, he's got some safety help he has to work around, but he's on the near side. It's going to be Frampton. Makes a man miss. He's making a bunch of dudes miss, and he, I believe, has a UAMS first down, but there is a penalty marker down at the 36. We'll see who that is on.
That's going backwards.
Yeah, we'll be holding on the offense.
Now, there are openings happening now in this drive. We didn't see it much in that first offensive drive, but you're seeing it more. You're starting to see that the Senator O-line is starting to find a little bit of momentum for themselves and opening up some slots for Bryce Cunningham, and in that case, Hakeem Frampton, even with the holding call.
Of course, their offensive line all season long, I mean, they've helped Deuce Williams get his big numbers, and Deuce bouncing outside, and it's going to be a big-time loss for the Senators. I think he lost about 7 yards right there. Definitely unfortunate. They're going to say he had some forward progress, so only a loss of about 2.
That's a good call right there for Robinson.
Yeah, just nothing developed. Deuce was trying to be patient, and that play was just blown up. Second and long, 2nd and 23 for the Senators. 9:55 left to play in the first half. And we're going to have a flag now on the offense.
And just silly penalties by the Senators.
Yeah, but comedy of errors working against Robinson right now. They get backed up even more. It will be 2nd and 28 from their own 48-yard line. They have to go all the way to the 24 for that first down. Simpson rolls out right. He's going to take off. Only his 3rd rushing attempt this season, and picks up some positive yards.
Get some good yardage on that.
Well, they do not anticipate him as a runner. Like I said, now just his 3rd rushing attempt of the year. It was -7 coming into this game in rushing yards. So he'll get a few.
Gets 11 there.
Third and 17. Maybe more like 3rd and 19, actually, for the Senators. Deuce goes in motion. Simpson, it's a screen pass. It's going to be to Braylon Brown. Brown, he's trying to work with something. Does he have the first down? That is the question.
They're going to mark him right at.
He's got it.
Wow.
First down for Braylon Brown. That is a star in the making. They've been wanting to get him the football. They finally do, and he has one of the biggest plays of the game so far tonight.
Maybe that's a little momentum. That's really good run. Like, that's all Braylon Brown there. Just a small screen pass to him, and he makes the yardage himself.
Big UAMS first down right there. So Simpson and the offense. Let's see what they draw up here. The two receivers are Frampton and Warrior Benson. Williams is the running back. He'll get the handoff here. He's up the middle. Hold on to that football. He'll get a few yards, maybe about 5. Hey, even more than I thought. It's 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard gain.
And he got a little bit of momentum in that after the contact. It was just something he's so good at. It's what kind of makes Deuce Williams an anomaly. He's so good after contact. And, I mean, that you can kind of chalk that up to 5'10", 220. That's a big running back.
Handoff again to Deuce Williams, and he's going to bounce outside.
Oh my gosh.
What a man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. A UAMS first down for Deuce Williams, but looking like Derrick Henry and a little bit like Jahmyr Gibbs on that run.
I mean, through the tackle. Like, that should have been a tackle, but somehow Deuce Williams creates more yardage by just shoving him off of him.
Yeah, that guy's got to get in the weight room after that, but big pickup there, and that's the Deuce Williams we are used to seeing. We've seen this formation. It's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Dominio Patterson, and I believe that's Jackson Redmond, are lining up as fullbacks. Simpson is under center. Who's going to get the ball? Will be Deuce. Deuce, and he gets tripped up. A good tackle from behind. I believe that was number 31, Malachi Jackson, who is really adding to that depth, that linebacker that they have, and there is a Senator down on the field. Is that Deuce?
I do not believe it is. It might be.
I think it might be Deuce Williams, who is down on the ground.
Now, I did see him kind of wince a little bit in the play before it, so it's very possible.
I mean, look
and
at
you
that
can see that was
run.
100% what it was.
Well, that was not.
But I'm saying, like, that is where the pain is coming from, that play before it.
Yeah, probably so. And then, of course, was taken down by the legs on that last play. So once they return, it will be still 2nd and goal, I think, still from the 5-yard line. Of course, as Coach Up has talked to us about before, Deuce has kind of played banged up all season long. Nothing major.
Just enough to bother.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's take another look at that Braylon Brown big pickup there on first down. A little tiny block from Deuce Williams, but that was all Braylon Brown. And
trips over a chair at the end.
Yeah, he absolutely did. A huge pickup by the sophomore. We've been wanting to see him. Was held to 0 catches last week. Of course, there were only 3 completions all of last week. And Deuce Williams, good to see he's up. He's moving.
On his own power, which is good.
Yeah, but he'll have to take the play off, and looks like they're going to go with empty set here. They're going to throw in another blocker. Man in motion, it's Redmond, the blocker. Simpson looking to throw. He lofts it to the end zone. Oh, incomplete. He was looking for Lennox Campos. That pass just did not quite get to him.
Yeah, I mean, he was under pressure, had to just kind of toss it up in the air. I thought he had that.
So it's 3rd and goal for the Senators. Trey Petty's getting snaps at running back. Still no Deuce Williams. So let's see what they draw up here. Frampton, the receiver on the near side. Warrior Benson, the big receiver on the far side. Campos and Redmond blockers, they switch sides. Man in motion is Warrior Benson. He's open. And touchdown. There are flags, but as it stands, a touchdown for Josiah Warrior Benson. We'll see what the call is. They threw it pretty much as soon as the ball was snapped.
Oh, I believe, actually, I believe that it was a little early. I think I know what part that was. I don't know who it was, but.
So the Senators will get hit with the legal motion right there, get backed up 5 yards. So it is 3rd and goal from the 10 now. Tank Reese. Oh, no, he's coming out there possibly as a running back. I haven't seen him a lot since he was out due to an injury against Watson Chapel earlier this year, but has a few carries so far. But I imagine it might be a passing play here. Simpson looking left. He's looking for Frampton, one-on-one coverage, and in and just through his hands, I believe, and incomplete. That brings up 4th down, and they're going to send the field goal unit on now. It should be an easy kick for Tate, but probably a good decision right here. So the Cardinal defense prevails on that drive. And now Tate will kick the first Community Bank field goal attempt. Campos to hold. That kick is up. And it's through. 10-14 in favor of Camden Fairview. 6:53 remaining in this first half of action. And, Will, I know you want to be aggressive in the playoffs, but sometimes you just got to get points.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's you kind of want to do that, especially when your star running back is on the sideline being treated, which I have been kind of keeping an eye on that down below. But, you know, you need to take the points where you can get them. In reality, the defense has looked very good. There's been just a pick six, and the offense got stopped on one of the 2 drives they've had, and in that stop, they were in the red zone at that point. So you can only imagine that the Robinson defense is going to prevail here, but you need to make sure that this ball is deep because you need to give yourself enough room in order to work on defense.
William Tate ready to kick off here. Back to the receive is Dayton Browning. The star do-it-all player already has a touchdown today, receiving touchdown. And he's back to return. And it will be a booming kick for a touchback.
And I think that's what you're going for in this case. Again, in the one drive that they have scored on offense, they got it in their own territory.
Yeah.
So I think that given that Robinson has a little bit of extra room, I think you can imagine that they'll be able to hopefully hold their own. Again, and there hasn't really been a lot of chunk plays either. It's been a lot of Wildcat. I've never seen more Wildcat formation in my life, but except maybe like High School Musical. But that's a good joke. You can. It's okay. I'm quick-witted. What can I say?
Yeah.
You're something. That's what my mom would say.
3 receivers for the Cardinals on the near side. Brody Downs, the quarterback. Red Robinson is the running back. Utsey is the tight end. Man in motion is Browning. He'll get the handoff here. And he's got, what a big tackle by the freshman sensation, Kalen Norwood. Big time play.
Had his first interception last week, gets an early tackle in this game, read the play perfectly, followed Browning all the way across. Was able to get the really good tackle. I don't know if that was for a loss or not.
It was just his first full tackle for a loss this year. Now is at 1.5 tackles for loss in his freshman campaign. 2nd and 11. Handoff to Robinson, and he'll get uplifted by Kyron Grimes. And the Senator defense trying to lay the boom here brings up 3rd and 8.
And as I said, this defense was starting to wake up in that last one. I mean, those three stops on the goal line before a weird Wildcat formation. So this defense is doing very well. Don't let the score fool you.
5:37 left to play in the first half. Robinson switches to the left side of his quarterback. 3rd and long. They need to get to the 30-yard line. Clock is ticked all the way down, and the Cardinals had to burn their final timeout. 5:21 remaining in the second quarter. It's 3rd and 8 when we return. We're going to stay right here. But 14-10 is your score in favor of the visiting 5A South squad, Camden Fairview. And, probably some people tuning in to watch this game might be a little shocked with the score. And no matter who wins this game, it's looking like they will be playing Farmington next week, as they have a 20-0 lead. As we take another look at that Robinson run and that Kyron Grimes big-time tackle. But again, that score update for the Harding Academy and Farmington game is in big favor of Farmington. They're about ready to head into, they're heading into the locker room at half, and they have a 20-point advantage over the visiting Wildcats. But back to this game. Let's see what the Senators, if they can come up with a stop. Dow looking to throw under pressure. He got it to Robinson, and he stopped. That will bring up 4th down after about a gain of 4. The offense looks like they'll stay on the field for now.
They can always flip it because he is their punter.
Yep. No, they're going for it. Well, maybe not. I say that. They're trying to go hurry. Oh, yep. They're kind of signaling they may punt this football. So Deuce goes backwards, and yep, it will be a punt by Dow. Actually, that's Kyron Grimes that is out to return, and that ball will go out between the 38 and the 37-yard line for the Senators. So now Robinson has 4:40 left to play in this first half. Plenty of time to string together a solid scoring drive.
And I like this field position as well. And I do want to say that the moment that the offense is ready to play, I just watched Deuce Williams stand up. I'm not sure he wants to be out of this game much longer than he already has been. He has his helmet on. I think Deuce will be in the game. Probably not on this first play, but expect him very soon.
It looks like he's still getting taped up, but the running back looks like that's Bryson Cunningham. Actually, that's going to be Trey Petty. He'll get the handoff here. Petty, he'll get a few extra yards. A big push by the O-line. Well, maybe a 5-yard gain for the junior running back. So 2nd and 5 with 4:25 remaining in the half. 2 receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Quarterback Reese Simpson, thrown 1 pick today. Both quarterbacks both have thrown pick sixes. He's looking to throw. Looking left. He's got time. He's going deep. He's got Frampton. Oh, and just overthrew his star junior receiver. Unfortunate. That would have been a house call right there for Akeem Frampton. And that's been the story too many times this season. Just Frampton beating his guy outside, and just the connection hasn't been there.
And Up is arguing with the ref, or yelling at the ref. The ref is not responding, but I think he wanted some sort of call on that play, because you did see Hakeem Frampton get tripped up a little bit.
Handoff to Petty. Petty breaks through and got the first down on that 3rd down carry. It's another UAMS first down, moving the sticks. 3:45 remaining in the half. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Petty is still the running back. He'll get another carry here. And he won't get as much. He gets stood up, maybe a yard or two on that. And I think they're going to give him 2 yards on that carry. But only about a minute and a half has gone off the clock on this Senator drive, so they still have plenty of time to get into the end zone. Bryce Young Cunningham comes out there to replace Petty as the tailback. 3 receivers on the near side now. It was play action. And Cunningham really wanted that football, but Simpson had to strip it away, and that's good sign to see Deuce Williams back out on the field on this 3rd down play. It is 3rd and 8. Todd, Brown, and Warrior Benson, the receivers out there now.
I think you try and give it to Braylon Brown, maybe.
They did on 4th down earlier in the first quarter, and it worked out. We'll see if they do that again. Looking for Todd. And he may actually be marked short. He's going to be short of the 1st down, but it will bring up 4th and 1. 4th and 1 from from the Cardinal 41-yard line. Cardinals anticipating a run right here. Let's see if the Senators just trying to get them off sides. Clock down to 17. Handoff to Deuce Williams. He just needs a yard, and he picks up way more than that. So big pickup, tackle by Utsi there. And a Cardinal trying to push Williams right there. And in return, he gets pushed down, so that Senator O-line protecting their superstar running back.
I saw that.
He tried it.
What you have to understand about Deuce Williams is he's quiet. He is not a fighter. He allows his game to talk.
Oh, absolutely.
Even as a teammate, I found out that he's a very quiet person.
Yeah, you trying to push after the whistle, he may just take it to the house right here. Handoff, Simpson still has it. Oh,
that's good blocks.
He's got a lot of room to run, makes a man miss, and finally brought down inside the 10. So the Senators are marching here into the red zone, and it will be 1st and goal. Really? The 11? I thought he was inside the 10, but okay. So Akeem Frampton, big pickup on another UMS 1st down, so it will be 1st and 10 from the 11. Not quite 1st and goal yet, but they're getting closer. 1:38 left to play in the period. 2 receivers near side. Deuce Williams is the running back. The blockers switch sides. Hand off to Deuce. He's going to bounce outside. He's going to follow his blockers into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Senators. There is some dirty laundry on the field. Don't know who that might be on, but it could be a holding. We will have to see.
Coach Up is not happy.
Yep. Holding on the offense right there. Unfortunate, so we got to mark that touchdown off the board. The score will remain 14-10 in favor of Camden Fairview. That Senator sound needs to out, and they need to stop playing. It's not a touchdown. 1st and 20. Now on the opposite side of the red zone. 2 receivers, far side, Redmond and Campos, the extra blockers. They switch sides. Simpson outside. It's going to be another bubble screen, this time to Todd, I believe, and got it almost to the original line of scrimmage. Got it to the 14-yard line.
And I'm liking those bubble screen passes because it's kind of forcing Camden Fairview to take into consideration Deuce could have this ball. Number 2 could have this ball. So we need to kind of collapse in, and it gives an opening space And we saw it work for Hakeem Frampton a couple plays ago, which got us into this area.
Yeah, they're trying to load the box, which is opening the outside. It will be Simpson looking to throw. He's going to step up, look into the end zone, and broken up right there. The Senator fans and Coach Up furious. There was no penalty on that play.
That might be a missed call.
Take another look at it. I think he was looking for Braylon Brown right there. Again, not happy at all with the potentially missed call, but the Senators will have to go. 10 seconds on the play clock. Empty set. Simpson under pressure. Screen pass blown up. Completely blown up by Utsi. Simpson. Some of the coaches are saying he got hit late. The clock continues to go down. They may just have to go for the field goal here.
Now they do get the ball to start the next half,
Yep.
so
offense is still on the field. I think they're going to just try to take as much time off the clock as possible and then call the timeout as 3, 2. Yep, that's what they'll do. So the clock is at 2 seconds remaining in the half. And I imagine William Tate will go out there to attempt this first Community Bank field goal.
there goes Coach Up to the middle of the field.
Yep, going to speak. Oh, he even said, "Come over here, ref." Yeah, he's not happy with these calls, or the no calls, you could say. So now Tate will have a pretty long field goal here, but we've seen him hit it from pretty far previously. I think what's his 43 is his long this season. He's 3 of 4 from field goal range. Again, 43 is his long. (14-10) in favor of the visiting Camden Fairview Cardinals. Having to drive about an hour and a half to Little Rock to take on the number 1 seed Joe T. Robinson Senators. So Lennox Campos will be the holder. Cardinals, just in case the kick is tipped, they're ready to receive. So William Tate. Snap is good. Kick is a line drive and off to the left. Unfortunate miss. So the Cardinals already celebrating as they have a 4-point lead heading into the locker room. Let's see what Coach Upgrove and his team draw up here after they come out of halftime. We'll have more Senator football on the Robinson Sports Network in just a moment, so don't go anywhere.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Now, thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
It's not just a house, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood, and of course part of the community. And you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
Without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh, my stars. It is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
to Hot Springs tomorrow for their second competition of the year. Good luck, girls.
And welcome back to the second half of action here on the Robinson Sports Network, presented by UAMS Health and by First Community Bank. Your Senators trail coming into the second half as they're down 14-10 against the visiting 5A South Camden Fairview Cardinals. First round of playoff football here tonight at Charlie George Stadium. Your Senators will have the football to start out this second half. Trey Petty and Akeem Frampton are back to receive. Of course, Gannon Edwards, the kicker for the Cardinals. He's been kicking it short, so keep an eye on that. Could be a short kick here, and it's going to be a lofty one. Caleb Smith calling for the fair catch, and he got it. So the Senators will have the football around the 44-yard line. And Will, we were talking about it a little bit during the half. Obviously, both teams are throwing a pick six today, but we want to see just more connection with that air attack.
Yeah, you really do. And I mean, you almost saw it towards the end of the first half with between Reese and Hakeem. It was just a little bit overthrown. I think you're going to see more Deuce to start the second half, because we did see that against Cersei when they were down. Allow Deuce to find a rhythm like that.
He may get it right here. Deuce Williams makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. It had to have been a face mask. No flags. But my goodness, about a 15-yard pickup for the man, the myth, the legend, Deuce Williams. Big play.
And right on cue, I said you want to try and find Deuce to get him a little bit of momentum, because what we've seen from this Robinson team as a whole is that they are very momentum-based, but also they're very you hit me on the chin, I'm going to take that and run with it. I'm not going to give up just because you're winning right now. And we've seen them do it a couple times this year. I don't think this time's going to be any different.
And going to be a penalty against the offense. We saw a lot of that earlier in the first half. And they're going to get backed up a few yards here. Will be first and 15 for the Senators. Just 40 seconds off the clock here in the second half. The ground game has worked for the most part. Deuce waiting for something to develop. Oh my goodness, big hole there.
He's still up.
He's still on his feet.
He's
Deuce
still
Williams, not down yet. Not down until about the 10-yard line. Oh my goodness, it takes Duhart to finally take him down, and suddenly the Senators are in scoring position.
And this is something that Deuce Williams is really good at. He is not, this is the best way to say it. He's a sore loser. He wants to take it on himself to build these yards.
Oh, ball's loose. Oh, no. Oh, Fairview thinks they have it. No official call yet. Who has the football? And Fairview no longer has the same excitement. Senator football.
Yeah,
that
I think they were just doing it.
Break.
I think they were just doing it because you want to try and make it seem like it's.
Let's see.
I think Reese was on top of it the entire time.
He might have been. Well, I don't know. Oh, it looked like. Was it Dominio? It looked like Dominio pulled it away. Well, Fairview, first of all, was looking at the bottom of the pile, but Patterson was already up with the football.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Second and goal from the 19-yard line. Down by 4. Outside, and it's incomplete. That was Braylon Brown. He had a lot of room to work with. Oh, my goodness. That would have probably been inside the 10 if he had held on to that football. Of course, it's incomplete, bringing up 3rd and long.
And there's no first down to get. You have to score here.
Exactly. 3rd and goal, 3rd and 19. Brown in motion. Simpson rolling. He's going to get it to Deuce. What a catch! What a catch! My goodness, Deuce Williams caught the football.
Wow.
Brings up 4th down. But they'll definitely be going for it here.
That did, honestly, that looked like a lot of contact before that catch as well. I mean, my God.
Of course, you just need 1 foot to get down in high school, and that's exactly what he had. We don't see Deuce get the football a lot out in space outside of just a typical run, but
you have to go for this. You absolutely have to go for this.
There's no other option, and there's no field goal. You go for the score here. You're down 4 early in the second half. Simpson over the man. What a breakup. What a breakup by Utsi, and what a game he's having primarily on defense. But here's the thing, of course, it is a turnover, but the Cardinals don't have great field position here.
They have really bad field position here.
Yeah, they are inside the 4-yard line, their own 4. Now, we've seen the ground attack from them work pretty well. So we'll see what they can draw up here. The Senator defense ready to go.
And don't let the score fool you. The defense has been very good. It's been, other than allowing 1 touchdown on their own, there hasn't been much going for Fairview, for Camden Fairview.
That's true. Well, and you think about that defensive drive that they did give up a score on. They had 3 consecutive stops on 1st and goal. And they, of course, they eventually gave it up, and then, of course, there was a pick 6. It's going to be a handoff to the running back. That's Robinson. Maybe got a yard right there. Oh, no, wait.
Well, he ended up in a different spot.
My bad. I could not. He's sneaky. Red Robinson. Sneaky running back. Just a junior. Of course, coming into the season, into this game, leading the team in rushing, and so far this year has 4 games with 100 or more rushing yards. Really solid season for him. Another handoff to Robinson. And, okay, he'll get even less right there. Maybe a yard, and that will bring up 3rd and 5. Campos making the stop right there. Robinson comes off the field. Browning will be the running back, but they bring on Randall. That's Chris Randall, the sophomore, as that extra receiver. So 1 receiver on either side. Some extra blockers, they shift. Again, Browning is the running back. Dow is the quarterback. 3rd and 5. Big play right here. Dow looking for Browning. Could get this strip. It's out. Who's got it? Who's got it? I think Dow got on top of it. Some of the fans are saying safety, but I don't know if he was in his own end zone yet.
If we can get a replay on that there.
No, he was not in his own end zone. He was as close as you could get. Let's look at it. As Dow's getting ready to punt, you can see coming off the edge.
It was just a little close.
And that was Frampton. That was Frampton coming off the edge. Don't ever see him do that. But they're going to have to punt the ball from their own end zone. He's back his heels to the back line. It's a straight line drive. Frampton's got a good return here. Frampton can return this. And he's going the other way.
He's still going.
Oh, my goodness. He probably could have gotten us some more yards if he kept going right, but
that's a free red zone start.
Yep, you're in the red zone. That's desperately what your offense needs.
And now their offense needs to give the defense 7 points. Yep. Defense gives you amazing field position. Now you need to respond for them.
And shout out to Akeem Frampton. Look at that punt right there. And Frampton, not shout out for that, but a shout out for that strip sack fumble. Of course, they do get right back on top of it, but eventually the offense gets it back, and they have great field position.
The exact same position they were last drive.
Yep, pretty much. From the 18, handoff to Deuce Williams. He's going to wait for it to develop. And, oh, my goodness, they loaded the box and couldn't bring him down. He's short of the first down. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Where are they going to mark him?
Just a yard, just inches short.
Oh, wow. Okay. It will be 2nd and inches.
No, they're going to. They gave it to him. Okay.
They got it. So 1st and goal for the Senators at the 8-yard line. They were at this on their previous drive and didn't quite work out. Let's see if they can change the tide right here. One receiver either side. Deuce Williams, the running back. They load up the box once again. He's going to get through, and he gets down to about the 1-yard line. That guy just does not go down easy.
And I told you, he is one of those guys that if they're losing, he wants to do it himself. And you can see, it's not like these runs are like, okay, he's getting a little open space. No, he's fighting through so much contact to gain extra yardage. He's forcing himself through.
The receiver on the near side, Todd on the far side. Of course, it's going to go to Deuce Williams, and he's in for the score. The Senators back into the lead, and the fans all back up on their feet here with 7:59 remaining in the 3rd quarter as Tate is on to attempt the first Community Bank point after.
Can you believe it's the 3rd quarter and we just saw Deuce Williams score his first touchdown?
That is incredible.
That's insane. That's insane to say.
Honestly, hats off to Camden Fairview. Now, he was hurt for a while.
Yes.
But hats off to Camden Fairview because that is a nearly impossible task. He didn't even have a good running game against Pulaski Academy, but he still had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that point after attempt is up, and it is good. So the Senators with a 3-point advantage over the Camden Fairview Cardinals, exactly what they needed. Coming out of the locker room, we kind of figured eventually that might happen, and they're showing right here.
And not only is the defense started all of that. Both sides of the ball seem to have a lot of momentum suddenly. And it all comes off of that very, very good defensive stop, specifically by Hakeem Frampton on the sack.
Yep.
You really could have was very close to a safety, but I think that probably turned out to be better than a safety because then, if you don't know, safeties, you have to kick it off to the team that got the safety, if that makes any sense at all. So Robinson would probably still have the ball, trying to drive down the field, trying to score, but now they're ahead by 3 points, and they have a lot of momentum on both defense and offense.
Yep, suddenly a big burst of energy. The crowd's feeling it. The players on the sideline are feeling it. We'll see what Camden Fairview can do to combat that. Browning, the returner, William Tate, set to kick off. He's been kicking it deep for the most part. This Camden Fairview has been pretty much rolling on offense so far tonight. Let's see what he does right here. Yep, it'll be another booming kick. Tate
he's doing that. He wants that.
I will say, Tate last year consistently could not get it to be a touchback. Just could not. But this year he's improved so much. And while we have a second, Will, you want to give us an update on whoever wins this game will play? Who do you think?
It's looking like Farmington up 23-0 with about 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So their game is just a few minutes ahead of ours.
Now, we did see Hot Springs don't have an accurate score, but Hot Springs and BB were tied.
Yeah.
15 all at the half. There's actually been, and who was up, Searcy or Lakeside? Do you remember? I don't remember, but it's been a really entertaining first round so far. Empty set, down under pressure.
Yes!
Picked off by the Senators. That's what they needed. McAdory, first pick with the Senators. That's what they needed.
Aaron McAdory comes up with, that's an incredibly clutch interception, not only because it's an interception in their territory, but that is an interception coming off of a defensive stop and an offensive touchdown. That's unbelievable.
Let's take a look. He's on that top left corner. He was looking for Browning, couldn't get it to him. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Sally.
Oh, no, that is Damon Sally.
So sorry, that 8 looked like a 9. So Damon Sally, hats off to him. Yep, that Hot Springs and BB game
Still
is a close one. 15 all. in the third quarter, actually trailing into the third quarter. The time is Deuce Williams.
Yes, sir.
House call.
Keep going.
Yeah.
House call.
Deuce Williams. Deuce. TDs. Touchdown Senators. They are rolling.
My God, Deuce Williams. I told you he wants to do it all himself. He takes it from around the 30-yard line. I apologize. I don't know where that was, but he takes it all the way. The house call over 20. Oh, I think that's 30 total touchdowns on the year. I think plus. I can't remember. But my God.
And Tate, keep in mind that passing touchdown too. Tate on to attempt the point after attempt. Kick is up, and it's good. The first Community Bank extra point attempt is through, and while Will does some math, let's hear from one of our sponsors. I think you all know who it's going to be. First Community Bank is proud to serve the Little Rock community. We offer personal service and expertise and a full range of financial services that meet your needs. For all of your banking needs, First Community Bank has you covered. And if you need help figuring out which product is best for your needs, our knowledgeable and friendly staff are ready to help you find the best solution for your situation. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. And Will, did you do some quick math?
One more touchdown, and it's 30 total on the year. Wow. That is 22 rushing touchdowns on the year, however. So coming into this game, he had 27 total. Right. He had 20 rushing touchdowns coming into this game. Now he has 22.
Yeah. And one passing. How many receiving?
He has 3 receiving,
I believe. 3 receiving. Then he had 2 interception returns, and then he had 1 kick. Was it just 1 or 2 kickoff returns?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me do some math again real quick.
My
bad.
I'll let you do that. I'll let you. So Tate will kick off here. Browning to return. 7:40 left to play. The Senators, who are down 4 entering the third quarter, are suddenly up by 10.
Yeah, I was right, yeah.
And Browning, he'll return this one, had to jump up and grab it. And the Senators closed in. He dove forward, got in on the outside of the 20. And there's a Senator that is down on the field. And he's hurting right there. I'm trying to see what number. That looks like Aaron Freeman, the young up-and-coming defensive back. So the trainers are going to go check on him. But 7:31 remaining in this third quarter. And, of course, Fairview will have the football here around the 20, or really around the 21-yard line. Well, while we have another second, let's hear from another one of our sponsors. When orthopedic injuries happen, get expert care now. At UAMS Health Ortho Now, we provide fast and convenient care for all of your orthopedic needs, from sports injuries to joint pain and beyond. No appointment is needed. Walk in for immediate care, get on-site x-rays, and see the best in orthopedic care all in one place. Ortho Now is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. Conveniently located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. And it's good to see Freeman was off the field and going to be a run. It's going to be... Ooh! Sit down! Sit down! What a hit! You know who that was. That was the big armor Tank Reese.
Tank Reese, the spearheaded tackle there. My gosh. I thought he was going to have some space there to make a play, but Tank Reese.
He doesn't need space. 2nd and 7. 7 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Handoff again to Thrower, and he'll get a few yards after contact. It was Tank Reese making another stop. So that will bring up another third down. Of course, their Cardinals' last third down didn't work out so well for them, but they have a lot more breathing room than they did when they were inside their own 10. Handoff again. Oh!
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Who caught that tackle?
Oh, my goodness. He lost 2 right there. Oh, my goodness. He just flipped up.
And I think,
what a hit.
I can't tell who that was, but whoever it was in the middle of being blocked.
It makes me think it might have been Tank Reese again. I don't know. My goodness, what an uplifting tackle. It's 4th down. Dallas, their punter and their quarterback, so we'll see what he does here.
I think they probably go for this, right?
It's 4th and 5 from their own 27.
Yeah, they are going to go for this.
Dow looking to throw. Under pressure, steps up over the middle, and caught! Caught by Browning. Browning's got a lot of room to run. 2 men to beat. He goes past one of them. He's still going. And finally brought down hard. Kalen Norwood. And I believe, I can't tell that other number from here, but he was hit hard by a couple different Senators. Finally brought down, but what a big pickup.
And that was a dangerous pass to make. He had to thread the needle, Dow did, but he makes the completion. Much needed.
Almost a 45-yard pickup right there. And Robinson gets held up. And nice stop by the Senators. That was Jackson Redmond, in addition to a couple of others, making that stop. So 2nd and 1. And, Will, we're seeing a lot of blitzing off the edge, or really not blitzing, just some pressure off the edge, and Dow's having to step up and create.
Yeah.
Of course, it works right there, even though that was pretty close to a pass breakup, but we'll see what happens. 2 receivers, near side, 1 on the far side. Dow, outside, Utsi, untouched, into the end zone. Oh, there's a flag. Is he in the end zone? No, they say he's short.
There's also a flag.
Yeah, there is a flag.
Might have been a blindside block.
We'll see what it is. Utsi had so much room to run, about 20 yards of just free space. They have him down, marked at the 1.
But Cardinals aren't moving.
And I'm thinking, it's going to be holding on the offense. So that helps a lot right there, as that certainly was great scoring position. Let's take another look at it. Utsi just completely unblocked coming. Of course, we hadn't seen it, called his name much on offense in the second half, but he was lined up as a blocker. It was a big hit he laid, too, and of course, it was, they do get a few yards right there just because it had to come at the point of the foul.
So they do get a first down off of it.
So it's definitely unfortunate for the Senators, but you do keep them
and there's
from the 1.
There is a first down to make in this case, but
yep, they are lined up at the 11-yard line. So well into the red zone. Robinson is the running back. Keep an eye on number 4. Lined up as the slot receiver. He goes in motion. It's Browning. Dow to the tight end. He bobbled it. Maybe got a yard. So that is 2nd and long, 2nd and 9. And Utsi slow to get up right there. He got hit hard, which is sometimes the case when you bobble the football, which he's done that a couple of times tonight. Of course, he does have a pick 6. And, of course, that near touchdown on the last drive, but he's worked pretty hard. This is a guy that Upgrove, of course, raved about during the coach's show, and I can see why. He's very mobile of a tight end, and Dow's going to come off the field, so they're going to bring out new receiver out there. Jack Jeffus only has 1 catch on the year, but Browning will be the Wildcat quarterback. We've seen Wildcat formation quite a bit tonight. They also bring out Aiden Evans. He's only got about 4 catches on the year. Let's see what Browning does. He's going to take off up the middle. Got some yards. Of course, the line to gain, or where he needs to go for the first downs, at the 1. So it is 3rd and 3. Maybe 3rd and 4. I'm not quite sure from my angle. Browning is still the Wildcat quarterback, but okay, they're just going to move that offense a little bit. But interesting, no Dow on the field, the quarterback. Browning taken off to the left, pushed away by his own offensive lineman, and he stopped. He bobbled it, and it's out of bounds, but that brings up 4th down. What a hit by the Senators, forcing that fumble, and they are lucky that one went out of bounds.
Can you say that you've seen this many Wildcat formations by one team in a game?
I mean, not by a team that has a solid
good quarterback. Yeah.
Matthew Mocha comes back in for the Senators. Apply some more speed and pressure on that defensive front since they're definitely going to go for it on 4th and goal. Or no, not even 4th and goal. It's 4th and 4. Jaden Boston's also going to come in. Mosley doesn't play a lot of defense, but he applies some size. It's going to be Browning, the Wildcat quarterback. He lost the football. This bad snap. He stopped. He stopped. He stopped. He stopped. Get down, Senator football. What a game for the Senators. What a half. What a half.
I just wanted to let it breathe a little bit. But my God, again, this Robinson Senator defense in the red zone is one of the best in the state of Arkansas, and you can see why. Now, again, as they're trying to get the clock to stop, the clock won't stop at all for some reason. I believe they're going to try and reset it. Yeah, about 20 seconds ticked off the clock, and it shouldn't have been. But this red zone defense has been just absolutely unbelievable for the Senators all year long. But that right there, now, to be fair, I think you could have probably put a mortgage down on that they were going to run a Wildcat formation, to be honest with you. But still, you can tell that this defense is not giving up.
It's going to be Deuce, and he's going to break free. He'll get out to the 10-yard line. So he'll get 5 yards on that carry. And when you're backed up inside the 5, that's the guy to give it to. Deuce does come up limping a little bit. He's coming off the field on his own
leg.
Yeah, coming off the field on his own power.
Goes,
but Bryshon Cunningham will be the running back.
Yeah, I think Deuce is having some leg problems on the sideline.
I mean, why are they calling an injury timeout? He's off the field. He came off the field on his own power. I don't understand.
But he collapsed on the sideline, like before he made it past the white mark. So,
well,
of course, also coach has to go check on it because he did not go off on his own. Well, he did, but didn't even try and make it to the stretching board. It's not what that's called. But
Stretcher. Well, not really. What that over there? Yeah, that's a long way. He has to go 60 yards.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, he's all right, but he's got to take some plays off.
About to say, I think they're just getting him to stand up so that they can play football again.
So Bryshon Cunningham will be the running back. Warrior Benson and Frampton are the 2 receivers. Campos and Redmond out there as the extra blockers. It's Warrior Benson, his first touch of the day. He's got the the UAMS first down and quite a bit more. And that's what happens with Warrior Benson. He almost runs the same exact route every game, but it's like an automatic first down when you give him the football. And that's just how special of an athlete he is. Look, you're right. He is one of the fastest players on the team, but he's one of the most mobile receivers in that receiving room. 1st and 10 from the 27. Frampton and Warrior Benson still the receivers. 1:40 left to play in the 3rd. And solid run by Cunningham. Got about 5.
And I do want to give a real quick update. It is looking like it's going to be Farmington. I don't have that game up right now. It's 30-0 in that game, though, with about 7 minutes left in the game.
I think that's pretty
So I
safe
believe
to
you're going to say that Farmington will be the next team to play, depending on who wins this game.
If you would, could you check on that Hot Springs score? Because
it's 22-22.
Oh, okay.
With 7.5 left.
Hey, go BB. Got to root for the interconference teams. They're not a big rival, so it's okay. Trey Petty is the running back now. Second and 4. He'll get it off the right side, up the middle now, and he may have gotten the first down. Let's see where they mark him.
Yeah, that is the first down.
Yeah, they're going to get him the first. So another UAMS first down. As you can see, some leaves are coming through. It's still the fall, so leaves are falling.
Beautiful day, though.
It was. I was really lazy today, so I didn't get to enjoy it that much. But the temperature feels great. 1 second separates the game and play clock, so they're going to let this just tick all the way down.
And I do want to update. Deuce Williams is up and moving. Still a slight limp in him. I do see Coach Up talking to him, but we have talked to Coach Up about Deuce's work ethic. And there have been times where Up doesn't want to play him, and Deuce says, I'm not coming out of this game right now. And I think that's what I just watched happen on the sideline. I think Up talked to him and was like, you good? And Deuce just kind of nodded his head, and Up is like, okay, cool, you're in. So we're probably going to see Deuce more in this fourth quarter where not a single point is scored by Camden Fairview. 14 scored by Robinson.
24-14 is the score as we enter that final period of play. We'll be back in just a moment.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we are dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Now, thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
24-14 is your score as we enter the final 12 minutes. And, Will, you want to give us an update on that Hot Springs and BB score?
That was actually called back.
Oh,
that one we saw, but it's been a good game.
What is it right now?
22-all with 6 minutes remaining.
So go BB. It's definitely, that's a 1 seed in Hot Springs versus a 4 seed in BB. And that is clearly a very good game.
I believe that's Deuce back on the field. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, Deuce.
I don't think you can rip him off the field right now if you tried.
You can tell that leg's still a little tender, but he's a tough guy. Hey, D1 schools, if you want a guy that's tough and produces, that's your man.
Produces. Nice. You could call him the producer.
Ooh, that's good. Deuce. Big hole up the middle. Following his blockers.
And he's
makes
still
a man
up.
miss. Could it be his third touchdown? It will be. It will be. Deuce. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Touchdown, Senators. Oh, my goodness.
And that right there is why you can't rip him off the field, because he knows what he can do for this Robinson Senators team. Chris, that is 30 total touchdowns on the year, 23rd rushing touchdown of the year. This kid is unbelievable.
William Tate out there to attempt the first Community Bank extra point attempt. Man, what a game we are seeing. Not even a game. What a half we are seeing.
I mean, he is limping on the sideline. He is going to get more tape on him. This kid is unreal as William Tate puts it through the uprights, turns it to 31-14 with exactly 11 left. But I just watched Deuce Williams, Coach Upgrove, I apologize for that call out. Jordan Driver hugging his running back, the offensive coordinator for this team, hugging his running back, because that's grit. Like, that might be the talk, like, to me, that's the storyline of this game, is that Deuce Williams went down early in this game, too. Hurt. His leg's been killing him. I mean, I watched him tell Up, I'm ready, and he did that. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. How many is that? How many 3 touchdown games does he have?
I was just thinking about it. Maybe 7?
That was just unreal.
I mean,
by the way, this is their 11th game of the year.
Oh, my gosh. He's probably well over 150 rushing yards tonight. I mean, of course, he had that one big reception, too. So, I mean, he is. Now, there were some penalty yards added on the kickoff. I imagine that was because of the excessive celebration. But now you're up 31-14. There's 11 minutes left to play. Look, you got to handle business. You got to take care of it because Camden Fairview showed in that first half they can make some quick strikes and some big plays, so they have to lock in. (31-14) with 11 minutes left to play. Tate kicking inside of Cardinal territory. And they're going to onside it. And did it go? It went 10 yards. I don't know why there's a stoppage in play.
Weird.
Okay.
Well, you get a little space now.
Yeah, I mean, you do get some space here.
800 of you out there right now, by the way.
Yeah, it's great
Concurrent.
to see all these great viewers. Hey, I don't blame you. It's a great playoff game right now. I was just thinking about this. Did every team out of the Natural State Sports Network make the playoffs?
I think so.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Previously, Sylvan Hills was the outlier, but, of course, they've shocked everybody out of the 6A classification. So Tate, kick it again, this time from the 50. It'll be a shorter kick, and Browning will receive it. And he'll get a little bit of a return, about 5 or 6 yards right there.
Tate's kickoff goes 25 yards before being filled up by number 4, Nate Browning. He returns to 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
So 1st and 10 for Camden Fairview from the 36. .52 remaining in the 4th quarter. And Will, if you're Camden Fairview, I know the passing attack hasn't been consistent, but I would think, of course, I say this and he's not out on the field, you got to get it to big number 44, Jamari Utsey. As Robinson is wrestled to the ground, Reese had to spin him around 3 times, but he finally gets him down. 2nd and 10 after that no gain, and there's number 44, Utsey. He's had a nice evening. They're going quick here. Dow. Oh, what in the world?
What happened?
What in the world?
What just happened? I didn't see him on the far side.
Touchdown Cardinals.
That's a very good play call, though. What in the world just happened? If we can get a replay on
look
that.
At that replay. They went quick, and there was just a wide-open Cardinal on that outside. Unfortunate right there, as they're going to line up for the first Community Bank extra point attempt. It's Edwards. He's been perfect so far this evening, and he stays that way. 21 points now for the Cardinals. Let's take a look at that replay. Yeah, look at number 8.
He never goes off the field.
Yeah, that's Kenmare Ware.
Nobody ever picked him up.
Oh, that was perfect. I remember when Johnny Manziel was on the Browns.
Yeah.
They did something like that.
That's a really good play.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfectly drawn up. Now all the Senators going to be keeping an eye on everybody that's leaving the field now, but they still hold on to a 10-point advantage right here.
Not really sure what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, all the officials huddled together around the 5-yard line towards the left side of your screen. Coach Upgrove, he's wanting an explanation. Coach Upgrove still having a conversation with 2 officials. But everybody else about ready to get going here. To return for the Senators, Kyron Grimes and Trey Petty are back there to receive. Or excuse me, Grimes comes up a little bit further. But it will be Frampton and Petty. Edwards ready to kick from the left hash mark on the 40. 10:22 left to play. Keep an eye on these short kicks, onside kicks. They've already recovered 1 tonight.
They don't go for it, actually.
No, they're not, but it will go to Petty. Petty's going to get a return right here.
A good one at that.
First kick return of the year, and he's into Cardinal territory. Big pickup for the junior.
It's a very good kickoff return, especially coming off of that trick play. The old talk to the coach on the sideline. Johnny Manziel? Was it Johnny Manziel?
He did that on the Browns. He's not the only one that's done it. As you take another look at that kick return by Trey Petty, just his first of the year, but he'll probably get some more in the future as Deuce Williams not returning kicks tonight, trying to keep him a little bit as healthy as possible as he's been banged up throughout the evening. But Bryce Young Cunningham will come out to start this drive as the tailback. 3 receivers out there on the field, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Reese Simpson hands it off to his running back. Cunningham dives forward for about 5. Actually, they're going to say 4, so it will be 2nd and 6 with 9:54 remaining in the game. Brown and Frampton, the receivers on the near side. Warrior Benson on the far side. The winner of this game will play the winner of Farmington and Harding Academy. It's looking like Farmington right now. Simpson going deep downfield. He's got a man open. It's broken up. It was Frampton, but what a recovery by... Yeah,
that's
that
very
was a
good
great
defense.
recovery by Buddy Hunter, the junior defensive back, the only returning DB that was a starter a year ago, and he's made some big plays tonight.
It's a good pass by Reese Simpson there, but, I mean, very good recovery.
Handoff again to the running back. It's Cunningham. He's got the first down and quite a bit more. So another UAMS first down on the 3rd down carry by Bryce Young Cunningham. The Senators knocking on the door of the red zone. And all the while, Deuce Williams has been on the sideline. Handoff again by Cunningham. Following his blockers. He might have a house call. Cunningham stays on his feet.
Wow.
Finally brought down by Hunter. He's down at the 5.
Oh, it's going to be holding.
Oh, my goodness. Take another look at that run. I don't know who had the penalty, or if they get backed up.
I couldn't see
pretty
anything,
far.
but obviously it might have been behind it.
So now they will be situated at the 37 of Camden Fairview. Will be 1st and 20 for the Senators. Man in motion is Brown. They're going to give it back to Cunningham. Cunningham, not much. He gets stood up right there. Maybe he got a yard.
Yeah, I got called. He kind of let go of the ball.
It was a good stop there by Utsi and the rest of that defensive line, including DeCason Torrance on that defensive line. Torrance along with Duhart. They've had some moments here tonight, but they're returning all conference members from a year ago. Second down. Simpson looking outside. He's under pressure. He's got to get away. Gets it to his man. He got Brown. And Brown's second touch tonight.
I don't know if he wanted to go out of bounds there.
No, he didn't want to. He could have had a few more yards, but he was pushed out by the Cardinals. The Senators on the 26-yard line. We're finally seeing Braylon Brown get some touches.
Yeah, we've talked about that all year.
It's been a while, Coach Upgrove. It seems like once a week is always saying we got to give Braylon Brown the ball. Well, that's why. You also look at his offer sheets. That's why he needs the football. Petty's the running back now. He'll get the handoff. Petty.
That's a first down.
He's got the UAMS first down and a little bit more. Big pickup, and they're still pushing. Finally down around the 10.
And this is a very good drive for the timing of the game as well. You're trying to run the clock down as much as possible. I will say, trying to go deep early in this drive was a little bit it was a little bit of a question mark just because you're trying to run the clock down, maybe trying to just respond, but still good, very good play calling out to me outside of that.
Yeah, it was a tad hasty, but they now have 1st and goal. They've already knocked off 3+ minutes. They have to go here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Handoff to Petty. Bounces off the left hash mark. Gets stopped, but not after picking up about 3 yards.
And that's something that the running back room is very good at, is being patient, right? They know that their O-line will have their back as long as they give them just enough time to kind of push through. They're very, very good at that. And Deuce Williams is a really good shining example of that. But Trey Petty right there, trying to give the O-line a little bit of time to push through.
Of course, Trey Petty, a pretty new addition to the running back room. Of course, is primarily a receiver, but when Tank Reese went down with an injury early on, he took over and played some more snaps, and he really cemented himself as running back 3. And now he's getting some good time here. Simpson rolling right, and he's throwing to the end zone, and incomplete just behind Warrior Benson. It may have been
tipped a little bit.
Yeah, it may have been, but it will bring up 3rd down. Of course, the clock stops at 6:16. Senators up by 10. They'll bring in an extra receiver in Brown. So 2 running backs now out there. Of course, Petty plays mostly wide receiver, so he'll probably line up as that far side receiver. But the Senators are going to take a timeout here. I think there was some confusion on the personnel on the field. But the Senators with a 10-point lead with 6:16 remaining. And obviously this has been a very successful drive and a very successful half for the Senators. Can you talk about these guys were down by 4 coming into this half. They've only allowed 1 score since then. Tell me about how we've gotten to this point.
Deuce Williams is really the answer, to be honest. He's scored 3 touchdowns, and they've all been in the second half.
Yep.
We saw that last week, but in the first half.
Yeah.
This week,
quarter, really.
Yeah, it was the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So Deuce Williams is the answer, but also defensive stops have been critical to the success of this team in this second half. I think in this case, you really have to breathe as much as possible. So
now, according to one of our viewers, now it's not on this side of the bracket, but Harrison comes up with the upset against Valley View on the other side of the 5A bracket. What?
And Hot Springs and BB are headed to overtime.
No surprise right there. Yep, no surprise right there. And that will be one heck of a game. Of course, that's not in our network, so I might as well stay tuned right here because this is still a pretty solid game. Senators still have a 10-point lead. Not totally out of it just yet. Wildcat formation. Going to run on the outside by the Senators into the end zone for the touchdown.
I can't tell who that was.
I thought it was Cunningham, but I don't think it was. Trying to see who that was. That was Brent Mooney.
Wow. Brent Mooney for the first time scores this year.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe he is a freshman, and this may be his first game this year. Well, congratulations, Brent Moody.
He's a freshman.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a freshman.
And that point after is good. So Tate nails the point after attempt, the first Community Bank point after attempt. As we look at Mooney, the confidence for Coach Upgrove to give him the football in the third quarter when you're up by just 1 score, and he got it into the end zone. Now
freshman scores, in a very critical time as well.
It's a playoff game.
Yes, a playoff game. Freshman takes it, and that was not an easy touchdown towards the goal line either.
Now, we did have a penalty on Camden Fairview on that extra point attempt. Of course, it's still good. The score's 38-21. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. But congratulations, Brent Mooney. That may be an opportunity for him to be running back 4. Because that was a great run by that freshman. But Camden Fairview will probably have one last possession with 6:09 remaining in the ball game. But thinking about next week, of course, the Senators have the 17-point advantage here in the fourth quarter. I never want to say they have it in the bag before, the clock goes off. I've learned that the hard way with the Arkansas Razorbacks. But if the Senators do come away with the victory here tonight, they will be playing Farmington in the second round of the 5A playoffs. And then keep an eye on the game between Hot Springs and BB, because whoever wins that game could potentially be the next opponent after the Farmington game for the winner here tonight. Tate from the 45. Try the onside, and it's picked up by the Cardinals.
And that's not a, I mean, you know, you're very close to the end zone on that other end, so it's not a bad idea. Try and maybe get some extra yards, maybe get an extra possession.
I believe that was Jeffers that jumped right on top of it. Empty set so far for the Cardinals. 4 receivers on that far side, 1 on the near side. Dow looking outside, got it outside to his receiver. I believe that's McKinney out there now. And a near first down, about a 9-yard pickup for McKinney. Just his 13th reception on the year. Empty set again. They're ready to go quick. It's 2nd and 1. He's going to try to take off himself. Oh, and he slides. Yep, flags go flying. That is definitely a penalty right there. He made that slide, and the Senators came in and hit him. He's fine. But that's going to be a bunch of yards tacked on.
15 to be exact.
No official call yet. It's going to be determined. A 5:36 left to play in the ball game. 17-point advantage for the Senators.
Oh.
Holding on the offense. Personal fouls on the defense. Those penalties offset.
Well, a lucky break by Robinson
definitely
there.
Was a lucky break. There was a holding, as you can see down. Yeah, I believe there was a holding right there. I believe against the center. Looked like that may have been on 63, Caden Adams. 2nd and 1 for the Cardinals. Empty set once again. Keep an eye on Dow. He may take off. Averages about 4 yards a carry this year. Outside to Browning. He got the UAMS first down before finally being tackled by Tank Reese. Browning is, when they've gotten the ball out to him, he's made some plays. 4 receivers on that far side again, 1 on the near side. Empty set for the Cardinals. They're trying to go quick, but a lot of time is going off the board now. Play clock to 15. Dow looking right over the middle. We got McKinney. McKinney stopped by Grimes. Todd came in to finish the tackle as well, but that's another UAMS first down. 2 receptions in this drive alone by Jaden McKinney, the senior receiver.
And they're driving pretty quickly here.
And caught again by McKinney. He's coming up clutch on this drive. He got about 5 yards right there.
And they're just playing very, very fast, which is not what they were doing in the first half. They were playing very, very slow-paced, kind of taking it at their own timing. But right now, they really want to speed it up, and you kind of have to in this.
Dow going deep, and got it. Touchdown.
Another touchdown for him. That's
Kenmare Ware. The freshman. He had a touchdown earlier.
There's a flag
because they have not officially signaled that there was a touchdown. Okay, all right. Okay, he was holding on the defense. So that penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
A lot of assessed on the kickoff penalties in this game.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it, and Dow, perfect pass to his freshman receiver who's got 2 touchdowns on 2 touches. Only had 2 receptions coming into this game this year. Dow met and could not get it to Utsi. Great job off the edge by Josiah Warrior Benson. coming up with the quarterback hit.
And, I mean, you have to assume here there's going to be a short kick, maybe even an onside kick here. Robinson has to be very prepared for that.
So the Cardinals fail to convert on the two-point conversion, but they are down by 11.
And I do want to point out Deuce Williams is no longer in pads, so you will not see Deuce Williams again tonight.
Where do you see that?
He's on the board.
Oh, I do see that. Well,
yeah. But not surprising.
But I will say Trey Petty definitely handled himself well on that last offensive drive by the Senators. Of course, Brent Mooney finished off that for his first career varsity touchdown. Bryson Cunningham has had some solid runs as well. Of course, they do have Tank Reese if they ever want to use him in that backfield. He's run the football a few times this year, so they're pretty much set on running backs. But you got to keep in mind, Cunningham and Petty will be the guys next year. I mean, obviously, you never know nowadays who transfers in, who transfers out, but the assumption is those two guys will be competing for the starting running back spot. And then this Mooney kid, obviously, he's got a touchdown in a playoff game. Maybe he does that again next year. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting competition in the backfield.
And, yeah, this is going to be an onside kick. Everybody kind of lined up towards that far side.
Yeah, they're ready to go right. Edwards will be an onside. And they got it.
Robinson ends with it.
That may have been Henry Kimbrough that grabbed it. Excuse me, that was Hudson Gay, the sophomore, grabbing that one. So good hands by the special teamer. So the Senators will have the football at their own 39-yard line. Expects runs from here on out. Bryson Cunningham is the running back on the field now. Frampton and Warrior Benson are the lone receivers, but I imagine they don't get many targets on this drive. They're just going to try to drain the clock as much as they can. Hand off to Cunningham. Working off the right side, tries to cut inside, lost a yard. So as far as I can tell, there are still the ball game next week will be against Farmington. The Senators looking to hold on to their 11-point advantage. And so if they do, they will host the Cardinals next week. So they don't get away from the Birds, as there was a timeout called by the Senators. So, of course, Farmington, a 2 seed out of the West. Had a great season as well, and the Senators going to take a timeout right here. It's 2nd and 10. 11-point advantage, 3:36 left to go, and Will, again, you just want to run the clock out as much as you can, and you know, I hate saying let's think about next week because there is still quite a bit of time left on the clock in this game.
Yeah, there is, and right there, you don't want to have to take a timeout. They're trying their best to use as much time as possible, but you know, you're probably going to see a handoff here, and you want a first down, to be honest with you. Get a first down here. Spend as much time off the clock as you possibly can while doing so.
Man in motion is Frampton. He'll get the football here. He's got a lot of room to work with, and he's going to be down. There's a flag. Frampton got to around the 46 or the 47-yard line, but we'll see what the penalty's about.
I think they're going backwards.
And we'll be holding on the Senators. I believe it was the blocking on the second level. Well, they still knocked off 9 seconds off the clock right there, and it still is second down. So 2nd and 13. Call it 2nd and 15, rather. And they're going to drain some more clock here. Petty is the running back. He'll get the handoff off the left side, and hard hit he got, and he was pushed forward for a few more yards.
Timeout, Camden Fairview.
And that was Jalen White that made the tackle, as that will be 3rd and 11 when we come out of the timeout. And Will, one of the things that I think will hurt the Senators in the future, if they do hold on to this lead, is they're starting these games slow. We saw them start BB. They started fast and then let go of the reins, and then, of course, started slow against Cersei. And they, obviously they've been striking quick in the second half. It's been working, but you get a Farmington next week, you get a Hot Springs in the future. Do they hold on? Or, those are really good teams.
Yeah.
You cannot start slow because you may not ever have an opportunity to catch up.
Yeah, and again, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Robinson starts sluggish and slow, and it feels like they can't get anything going, and it kind of takes one large chunk play or one big stop on defense to get them going. And I just don't think that you can rely on that at all times.
Man in motion, it's Braylon Brown. He'll cut back. Simpson running. He's going to take off himself. And he'll go down. He's short of the first down marker, but it will be 4th and short. I imagine they'll go for it. Be a timeout by Camden Fairview. That's actually, I'm going to be honest, that's not a very good spot. I really thought it was.
Yeah, that's not a great spot at all.
No, they're saying he has 2 yards to go. It looked much more like 1 yard, which, sure, it's 3 feet, but these are, every inch is vital at this point of the ball game. And especially in a ball game where there's no Deuce Williams, as he's out for the rest of the ball game, probably just a precaution because he has been playing banged up all night long. Now, what do you think in this situation? Is it going to be a handoff, or are we thinking a little short throw? Because Tank Reese is the running back out there right now.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that he's going to run around the area of Dominio Patterson.
It's possible. Of course, they've been following Patterson a lot on that. Of course, he's the starting left tackle. They've added the extra blocker of both Campos and Redmond. So Reese is the running back. His first handoff tonight. Up the middle, he got the first down and quite a bit more. Huge pickup, picking up another UAMS first down.
And I think as a Robinson Senator fan, you can maybe breathe a sigh of relief.
Yep.
Not that the game is over, because Camden Fairview does still have a timeout in their pocket, but they have not called it. And you can just kind of assume Robinson will run as much time off the clock as humanly possible.
Yeah, they may have to save that one if the Senators get into another 3rd or 4th down situation. But the clock is ticking down to 2:10 now. 20 seconds on the play clock. Cunningham in the backfield. Five seconds on the play clock. It'll be a handoff. Trey Petty in the backfield.
And he's still going.
Oh, my goodness. Trey Petty
He's still
cannot
going.
be brought down. That's grown man strength right there. About a 15-yard pickup. for the junior do-it-all playmaker.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Senators.
With a minute and 15 to go, you can kind of assume this game is over. Now, I want to give a huge shout-out to Camden Fairview. Came out fighting, man.
They absolutely did. You know, in conversations that we had with a lot of people throughout the week, did not think that they would be losing by just 11, as Simpson will take a knee right there. He'll have to do, I believe, one more.
Timeout called.
Yep, they needed to put the 40 seconds back on the clock. There was no play clock going, so they just need one more knee to take right here, and this game will be over. And there it is. The Senators are moving on to the next round of the 5A playoffs after defeating the 5A South 4-seed Camden Fairview Cardinals. What a game for the Senators. What a comeback. Down 10-14 heading into the third quarter of play. And they just could not be stopped, scoring 28 points, just allowing 2 scores in the second half. And Farmington is next week. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, just making sure.
Sorry about that.
Farmington will be here at Charlie George Stadium next week. Oh, we got some extracurriculars going on between Cardinal teammates. Of course, the Cardinals have been eliminated tonight. But what a fight for Camden Fairview. But the Senators with the 38-27 victory here at Charlie George Stadium. Regardless of how the postseason plays out, they will not be leaving Little Rock. It's a road to War Memorial Stadium ahead, and once again, Farmington, the 2-seed out of the West, will be next week. We're keeping an eye on that Hot Springs and BB matchup.
That was a heartbreaker for BB. Lost in overtime, wasn't able to score or in a response. Hot Springs got the ball first in OT, and BB wasn't able to respond. 28-22 in that game.
Well, that's unfortunate. It was a great fight by BB, clearly. So Hot Springs will be the matchup after the game between Well, I say Hot Springs. I don't know who they have next up. Who's
Hot Springs?
Hot Springs. Who do they play after?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for that.
Hold on. Did I write it down? No, I didn't write it down. I don't know.
Now, can I say something real quick before you continue your
Sure,
monologue?
Go ahead.
To everybody in the chat, I do want to say that was really fun to read everything. You guys, that was really fun to That's some of the most banter we've had for 800 viewers as well. Big shout out to all of you guys.
Most this year.
And I mean, Camden Fairview. I need this to be abundantly clear. We are the Robinson Sports Network. That is what we are. We are commentators for Robinson. That is what the channel is. However, Camden Fairview looked unbelievable, and that's not. And I'm not saying that just to say it. Camden Fairview looked very good, and I believe who was the freshman that was very, very good.
That was.
Kenmari Ware.
Yeah, Kenmari. Yeah.
Kenmari Ware. Unbelievable kid.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
2 catches. Only had
very
2
clutch
catches
touchdowns
all year.
at that, by the way. 2 very clutch touchdowns.
Both in the second half, absolutely.
Yeah, man. KD Ware. I apologize. Y'all are calling him KD Ware, which honestly I like that name a little more. But yeah, huge shout out to Camden Fairview, man. That was an unbelievable game. That really genuinely could have gone either way. I think just the difference became Deuce Williams towards the end because he was able to just kind of run through people. Now, KD Ware, if you got to choose a player of the game for Camden Fairview, I choose KD Ware, absolutely, because I think on those 2 touchdowns, he had almost 100 yards, maybe more. So, unbelievable game by Camden Fairview, but Robinson will face Farmington in the next round.
Now, right quick, offense and defensive players of the game for you, Will.
Wait, one more time? I'm sorry?
Offensive, defensive player of the game.
Offensive is Deuce Williams. I think that's pretty easy to decide. Defensive is hard. I think you could go with Caleb Smith, but I think you could also go with the defense as a whole. And I know that's kind of a cop-out, but there were some times where Camden Fairview were very, very close to scoring. They were in a good position to score, and Robinson was able to hold them on the line. That's not just one player. That's the entirety of the defense. So I don't know if there's one specific player on defense, but...
Now, I got to say my defensive player of the game is Tank Reese. He made some big-time hits, especially in that third quarter. I think he ignited some spark in that defense anyway. But offense and probably overall MVP, Deuce Williams, didn't even play a full game. But what a performance for the senior running back. Did not want this to be his last game of his high school career. Took it upon himself in that second half to pull his team out of a deficit, and they continue on. We're going to be back here at Charlie George Stadium next week. The Farmington Cardinals will be welcoming here in town. They have a long drive. Let's make sure they have a long drive right back. You're watching the Robinson Sports Network here, presented by First Community Bank and by UAMS Health. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great evening. Please be safe out there. God bless, and go Senators!